Recording in progress.
I lift my voice to worship you alone above the air. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh.
Amen. To Yahweh alone be all the glory. Good evening, everyone. It's another beautiful day in your presence. I'm glad to be here, and I'm sure you're all glad to be here. Thanks for joining on Facebook and for liking and sharing. Please, let's keep the program live by liking. It's very, very important so that we are not flagged down on Facebook. And on Zoom, what do I say? Thank you very much for being consistent, for supporting me, and for not making the program very boring. To God alone be all the glory. Thank you. I see Mommy Yusuf tonight. God bless you, ma. But Mike Ola Oluwa, always on point, on time. God bless you. Sister Christine, Sister Betty, thanks for your support. We were looking at financial infidelity last week, and then we said the time wasn't enough, so we're looking at it again today. And today, before we do analyze some scenarios, I've got two scenarios we're going to analyze. But before then, I've come to realize that the greatest infidelity when we talk of finance for married couples is when you lie about your financial status before you even get married. Now, it's a different thing when you marry about money issues after you're married. But lying even before you get married, it's very dishonest. It brings a lot of gap in the relationship. It destroys trust. And before you be able to build that trust again, it's going to take a while. And why do I say that? I've seen it happen in so many examples. I've seen it happen, to people. And I can imagine it. I mean, knowing the kind of person I am. Somebody lied to me about money. I don't play with money. Not because I like money too much, but I like honesty, I like simplicity, and I like people to be accountable. If I'm accountable, I like people around me to be accountable. For instance, myself and my siblings, we do transactions amongst ourselves. If I tell my sister, can you borrow me 50 pounds? She borrows me. And why would she continue to borrow me money whenever I ask her? Because she knows I'm going to return the money back to her. She knows if I give Dupe 100 pounds, she'll give me back when she says she will give me. And if for any reason she cannot give it to me the time she says she will give me, she will definitely make it up on time. So when I give her the money back and I say another time again, I come again, maybe 1 month, 2 months, sister, can you borrow me another 100 pounds or 200 pounds? If she have it, she will not hesitate to give me because she knows what I am committed to returning the money. But when you do transaction with people, even family, and you take it for granted, it's an abuse. It's a financial infidelity, it's a financial abuse. Even if it's husband and wife. And even with our parents, I hear our parents say it. I hear a lot of women say it. If you borrow your husband money, forget it. You won't get your money back. Personally, I don't think it is right. That is how serious I take money issue for. And my husband knows that. I believe if I borrow you money, borrow is borrow, give me is give me. They are two different things. So if I borrow you money, I expect you to return it. And for any reason, for whatever reason, if you are not able to return it, I expect a communication. My dear, I have not forgotten your money. I will pay you. But then when there is silence, that is taking me for granted, and that pisses me off big time. And I believe a lot of that happens to a lot of women as well. And then they're like, okay, if you're not going to return the one I gave you today, so the next time you come, I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear me? Somebody said they can't hear me. Can anyone else hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so Technophone, please check from your side. Other people can hear me very well. So if for any reason, a lot of women will not decide in their mind, If I borrow you money, you don't return it. Tomorrow, if you come, I'll give you story. Or probably the woman end up giving half of what you asked for because they know you're not going to return the money. So we say, oh, it's my wife, don't worry. But it's an abuse of opportunity. It's taking each other for granted. And that also can happen the other way around. So even as wife, if you borrow money from your husband, it is important that we do not take our husband or our wives for granted. You know, we look at these things as little things. She is my wife, or he's my husband. What's the big deal? What are we there for each other for? We are there to support each other. We are there to have each other's back, not to abuse each other. So if there is any money financial transaction between couples within the family, let us be able to keep things straight. Return the money. Even if you put interest, it's no crime. That is when you're like, I'm the husband, I'm the big man here. So let me add 10% for borrowing me money. So the next time you say, my dear, can you borrow me £5? Even if it's to empty her account, she will not think twice because she knows that my husband will return the money with interest. You know, so let us try to change the narratives, and so that our wives will support us more, our husband will support us more. Then I started with infidelity even before we get married. And that comes with lying. For instance, maybe you have debts. It is important. A woman can say, or a man can ask in a relationship, do you have any debt, any credit card issues? It's easy to say, oh, no, I don't have it. The woman wouldn't know unless the woman or the man, whoever is asking the question, decides to do a credit check on you, you know, to be sure. But then do we have to go to that level to start doing credit check? If that is necessary, I think we might have to, if people are not going to be honest. And the honest truth is, people that are really nice, that are genuine, it's difficult to know who is saying the truth or who is lying. Because we have more of people who will lie and cover things up. And when you're not married, things begin to unveil themselves, and then you begin to discover a lot of things, unpleasant things. And then it is too late. You are in the relationship and you are stuck. And there's no way you want to go. And then you begin to manage, you begin to patch things up. Okay, but it's always good. If you have a debt, let me know. You know, so I know what I'm getting myself into. I know, okay, we can work it out. We can plan things. It's for a while. How much is the debt? You know, how many credit cards are you owing? Let me know. It helps. So the person knows what they're getting into. There is no surprises. And then it builds trust. I mean, if anybody cannot come around later on and say, Duke, this is what we know about your husband, or Billy's come knocking at the door, how do you think the woman is going to react? The woman won't trust you anymore. And if it's the other way around, the man won't trust you anymore. So let's call a spade a spade. If the person is going to marry you with your debt, they will marry you. If the person is going to run away, they would run away. But at the long run, honesty is the best policy. Having said that, life is like Yoruba will say, Ilugogoni. What is facing you is not facing another person. What does that mean? That what is, for instance, a drum, a talking drum, has two sides. Now, the drummer, one side is facing the drummer, and the back of the drum is facing another person. Meaning, it's okay for me to say it's good to be honest, to be transparent and all that in relationship, especially on money matters. But there are some circumstances, not circumstances, not much, maybe one or two circumstances where lying about money might be a necessary evil. Why do I say that? I'll give two instances. One instance is for if your partner is somebody who spends money lavishly, they don't know how to save, and you want to help them to save. So it is a necessary evil at that time to lie about money in order for you to save the money for them. But at the long run, you are able to say, maybe at the end of the year, you are able to come out and say, listen, I have been lying to you, but this is the reason, and this is how much I have saved. Another example is this. Maybe your partner is scared to go into a project. For instance, is scared to buy a property, maybe because he or she has had a bad experience. and they are scared to go, to venture into such business again. But you know that even if you've missed it the first time, doesn't mean you're going to miss it forever. And you want to give it a go. So it's necessary to lie at that time or not to say anything until you buy the property. And then you come out and say, my dear, I have bought a property in our name. Now, that's a necessary evil. Not because you are lying because you're being dishonest, but because there is a situation on ground that warrants that. And then the third example I will give is this. If the partner is the one who is abusing you financially, who is lying about their money, about the income, who you are the one spending, either male or female, it's not any special in particular. And you feel like, is this person taking me for granted? Or you begin to feel like a fool in your marriage. You are the one spending the money and they're always giving you stories. I don't have, I don't have this, I don't have that. And you're being choked with responsibilities within the family. Now, they tell you they don't have money, but the next day you see them buying a pair of shoes, you see them changing their car, you see them doing things. But when it comes to doing things for the family, they have stories. Then in such situation, lying about your financial status, about money might be a necessary evil. Okay, so I'm going to stop with those three examples. From those three, the little I have said, does anyone want to add any contribution or question before I go to the next segment? Thank you for joining Techno. Is that none-so? Thank you for joining. And I see EC, thanks for joining. Sister Tito Lokbe, Sister Sherry Dosumo. Wow, thanks for joining tonight. God bless you. Any comment on what I've said so far? No. So we are good. On Facebook, any comments? I can read your comments to everyone. I can read it out to everyone. Thanks for joining, but I'm not seeing any like on Facebook. What's going on? God bless us all. This house is too quiet today. What's happening? I saw Pastor Stephen 2 seconds ago.
Hello.
Thank you. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yes.
Is it ever right, white, blue, or black to lie in marriage? If a marriage is built on whatever color we call the lie, is that actually healthy?
It is not healthy to lie, even if it's out of marriage. How much more in marriage? But then, like what you said, foundation. The only reason a white lie will be introduced, either white lie, black lie, or necessary evil, why lies will be introduced into a marriage is because the foundation is wrong, the foundation is shaky, the foundation is faulty, and a lie has been established. A distrust has been established. Trust has been broken. And the only reason why the other party will bring the lie into it is to cover their back or to save the relationship in some ways. I don't know if that makes any sense.
But two wrongs doesn't make it right, does it?
It doesn't make it right, but then it's an evil word we are in, which is the honest truth. Somebody is saving their money, you're married to your wife, and your wife, well, it's your responsibility to take care of your family and all. But then we also understand that the economy today is not smiling at anyone. You both have an agreement on how to sort out your bills, on how to do everything. And she keeps coming to you with stories. I don't have money, or I have to do this for my family, or my extended family, or I have to do the blah, 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 the stories. And you are left on your own, to have to do everything. And then suddenly you see her buying designer handbag, designer shoes. So already distrust has been introduced. Lie has been introduced. Now, if the beautiful and the first thing to do is to communicate. Talk to your wife. What's going on here? You gave me the story, you don't have money, but then I see you doing this. What's going on? If it's resolved easily like that, beautiful. But if you're not making any progress.
Josh mom is on live.
Can you mute yourself, brother Ola, please?
Josh mom.
Thank you. So if you cannot resolve things with communication, then you also have to smart up. At some point, you also have to find a way. Okay, what do I do? I don't know if I'm making any sense.
No, I do understand your point, but perhaps my point, or what I'm driving at with my question, my leading question, I should say, is perhaps lie is not the word we should encourage.
Okay.
We should be smart in marriage with your finances. If you have a partner that is not forthcoming, is not open, yes, you can be adults. They're not going to beat you. But you can't lie about it. Because you lying about it, it's not necessarily going to give the other party the opportunity to change. But you saying the truth about it, and then standing your ground might.
Well, it depends.
Just a different opinion on how to handle it.
It depends. What you said is right, but it also depends. The network is cracking. It depends on the story. It depends on who you're dealing with. And that's just the truth. And it depends on the scenario. I'm trying to find an example. Now, for some people, if you tell them, well, because you are hiding your money, I have also decided to do this. Things are going to get worse. They're also going to do worse. And before you know it, the marriage will break. Now, if we do not use the word lying being a necessary evil or black or white lie, if you say you also have to be smart about things, it's the same thing. You have to be smart about how you go about things. You have to think of, how do I go around this? What do I do? Anybody want to help me out with this, please? Sister Dosumu, do you want to come in?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. Can you hear me?
I can, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me, yeah? Right. I wanted to come in by saying this. We know money is a big issue about breakage of marriages and everything. And one thing that we have not mentioned here is, we come from different backgrounds, the male and the female, and you will find a scenario where maybe the husband or the wife is someone that is a big spender, and someone that doesn't even look at the priority on the list for spending. Aren't you going to tell us a lie to that person for you to save the day because you don't want to lose marriage or lose your marriage? And another one, it's a scenario where a man in a relationship, all he is after is the benefit he's going to gain from the woman in terms of money.
I'm with you, ma.
What?
You've muted yourself.
Oh, because we're saying no, we shouldn't lie to our partner and everything. And if you unfortunately find somebody that doesn't know how to spend money, doesn't know how to keep money, doesn't know how to make a priority list on how they spend their money, how are you gonna cope with that? I'll try this to the house. Let's discuss about this. Yeah.
Anybody wants to add to what Sister Sherry Dosumu has said? when the other party is not forthcoming and lying is necessary, yet it's not good to lie. So how do we balance things up?
I believe everything goes back to the foundation of the said couples, partners. If obviously trust is established from the beginning, regardless of the habit, because people do have habits when it comes to money. Some are savers.
Okay, anybody else wants to add to that?
I just want to say something quickly, because this topic, it's a huge topic that can go on and on and on. I have so many scenarios that I'm going to discuss. I'm going to say one. In terms of my brother saying there that the other partner that that's a disciplined one can help the big spender. It's not going to be very difficult. I mean, it's not easy. Somebody who is used to lavishing money, doesn't respect money, it's going to be very difficult for even the male or the female in that marriage to help each other. You have to lie. I'm telling you, this one, we call it lie. There was a scenario where the wife got huge lump sum of money from workplace, due to some issue or whatever, which I'm not going to go into details with that. And we're talking about £20,000 here. They had a discussion on this money to go to Nigeria and establish something, maybe a property or whatever. And do you know what the husband did when they got home? He did not tell the wife that this is what I'm going to use that money for, as we're going to my family. They were going to his family house to greet the mom and the sisters and everybody. And do you know what he did? He just dipped his hand in the pocket and started dishing out money to each and every one of the family there, and lavished this money up to about 16,000. According to the woman, said to me, by the time they were driving back home to where they were, she said she can't explain what happened to her. Maybe it was a mild stroke or something. Her eyes, he said her face was like, her face was disfigured somehow, and she was speechless. She was upset. Everything was happening to her. That what's going on here? We've already discussed what we're going to use this money for, and you came to your family and start dishing money out to them like it's like a, I mean, you have to lie. You will have to lie to help the big spender. You will have to lie. My own understanding of financial
infidelity
in marriage, in terms to help the big spender, is to sit down together and bring out the bills that you're paying in the house, any other bills that's going out of the house. Both of you sit down and see which way forward from there. Who is putting how much down, and how much is the husband putting down towards it? How much is the wife putting down towards it, to sort out the bills? And any other money that's left over belongs to whoever owns the money. That's what I feel. The joint account, to me, I would say maybe about 1% of couple, survive that. I've heard many stories about that. I'm a witness as well. It would never work, to be honest with you. It doesn't work, because most of the time is the male that violate that law of joint account. They go in there, dip their hand into it, and start spending even without letting the wife know what we're gonna, be using that money for. I mean, tell me, we have to lie here, because this person, you can't change this person. You are not the mother.
Thank you very much. It's very difficult to change an adult. You can only advise them. And if we choose not to use the word lie, but me, I believe calling a spade, maybe we should use the word apply wisdom. So whichever way you want to use the word wisdom, then it's left to you. But then we need to apply wisdom, or else we'll find ourselves in a lot of mess. And it's also very, 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 what's the word now? Very important that we learn from other people's experiences. Now, from what Sister Dosumu just said now, I have also heard a story that is similar, actually about 2 or 3, where it's always on the men, really. The men do more of the abuse. We have women who do it big time. But when we look at the ratio, it's more of the men. I'm not stereotyping anyone. I'm only looking at statistics. And if you look at the example I was saying, there's always this thing of, I'm going to combine the 2 stories together and make a statement out of it. Especially if the woman is the one taking children's benefit, or maybe universal credit and stuff like that. There's always the thing of, don't let your husband know. I'm like, why? Because the moment they know, they plan on that money for you. When your husband knows your income, maybe the woman is the one that has more income. The man is planning on your income. So with such examples, the women also have to revert. That, okay, maybe I'm being too honest here. Maybe I should not let my husband know how much I'm making. And a lot of women have learned from such examples, and they've decided to be smarter, to be wiser, and not bring all their cards to the table. So now, what's the main problem here? What's the foundation of the problem here? It's trust. It's trust. And the other word again is selfishness, which is not Christianity. It's not about me. She has more money from me, so I can get more money from her. He has more money from me. Shebi is my husband. I can spend my husband's money anyhow, taking each other for granted. But if we are really, really, really Christians, we honor, respect, and value each other. Every penny the person makes counts. And whatever we have to do, it has to be together. It's not our money. We agree together. We do everything we want to do together. Now, another thing that can also help with financial situations in the family, I'm going to read 1 or 2 things that I think helps, that we take for granted, and a lot of money we spend unnecessarily. One of it is credit card. A lot of people might not agree with me. They say, credit card is a necessary evil. You need it to build your credit rates, and maybe you also need it on the rainy seasons. But then you also, most of the time, end up in debt. I've been there. I'm still paying my debt. It was saving my ass at some point, and then before you know it, the interest was piling up. So a lot of us, we end up finding ourselves in situations like that. But if you are able to work together as a family, this is our project, this is our target. How do we save up to meet that target? So you escape the trap that comes with having a credit card. And then it's also dangerous when you have a spender in the family who can easily just take the credit card and go spend it. It could even be a credit card in both names, joint. And then last week, we had a woman of God who was saying the same thing Sister Dosumu just said about credit card, joint account doesn't work for 95% of marriages. Why? Trust. Why? Selfishness, greediness. So if these things are there in the human nature, why wouldn't you protect yourself? Protect your sanity. Like what she said about the woman was almost going to have stroke. Like, what is this man doing? The shock, the disappointment, the unbelief that what is he doing? So why would you want to protect your heart? Protect yourself against a man or any woman, even if you are loving, I say love with wisdom. Because why? The heart of a man is evil. That's what the Bible says. Who can know it? You can be married for 5 years. The day that woman will show you one drama, you'll be like, is this the woman I married? Is this the same man I married? The woman might be the one that has all 10 children for you. The day she will show you one color, you'll be like, what? We have a lot of women and men in mental home. Let us ask them questions. What took them to the mental home? Financial infidelity will be number one. Maybe.
Shall I come in, say something?
Yes,
I'm sorry disturbing you tonight.
It's fine.
Sorry. I just want to mention something quickly, and I would like everybody in the house to listen to this carefully, about the benefit, the children's benefit. To be honest with you, if the men want to be sincere with themselves, they shouldn't be even looking at the children's benefit at all. Reason being, the amount of money is ridiculous. It looks huge because it's paid monthly. The amount is ridiculous, £20 a week. And some men, you know, pick up a fight and destroy the marriage all because of that. You need to look at the stress the woman is going through in the house. If not because of the country that we are in, the men back home are the one that looks after the home front a lot. They look after everything. So, okay, we find ourselves here in this country where we have to work together to lift up all our baggages and everything. Men shouldn't be looking at the children's money at all in terms of them doing their rights as a man, as a father, as a husband in the house. And I'll be honest with you, these have actually caused a lot of problem a lot of problems in people's households. You know, and even some men that left the house, they're supposed to be looking after their children after they've left the house. Everywhere they go, and you know, you see people calling them that, why are you not looking after your children? Oh, but she's getting money from the government for the children. That's what you get from men. One thing they fail to realize is there is a blessing in the marriage. And this blessing goes to the person that is looking after the home, looking after the children, looking after everything. If you've now left that, you know, job for your wife to do, definitely she will be blessed. Of the man saying to me, the wife took his glory. Took his glory. So I then sat down and I'm thinking, what is he talking about? I had to call him back. I said to him, do you pay this woman monthly money towards the kids? He said, no. I said, look here, go to the pastors and ask them this. It is mandated. It is ordained by God. The person that looks after the family, looks after the wife and the children will be blessed. If you're now looking at, because of £20 every week, you decided you're not going to help your children, help your wife, and leave everything and walk away, you're going to be blessed. You just be jumping from one woman to the other. It's not a swearing thing. It's the real thing. You'll be jumping from one woman to the other because what you did not do where you left, you ain't going to be able to do it where you're going. Definitely, your life is messed up. Your life is messed up. And this is why we see a lot of grudges and a lot of pain in the faces of men nowadays, because they fail to do what God has called them to do. And it's about time they turn around before it's too late. Already, the system we're in do not want a family to hold. A system that destroys home. But one thing is, the men in the house are not even saying it. Most of the women are saying this. They're trying their best. And even if you're trying to explain to the men, they don't see it and they don't want to know.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you very much. I have few men in the house. Do you want to add anything to what Sister Dosumi said? Brother Ola, do you want to come in? You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, because of because that's a big experience she's talking about. Yeah. We need to understand one thing, in the beginning, if you're not taught how this from your parents, it's going to be difficult for you to practice all these things. There's a lot of people that fell into these categories, especially being United Kingdom. Everybody thought, the man is the head. We all know that. But when the man is not doing their responsibilities, this is exactly what's going to happen. And it's been happening over and over and over. And I think we should find out why. The reason for that is, I think that's the key word. Why is this thing happening? And it's keep on happening all the time. When you go to Ireland, USA, this is the same thing. Well, we need to know, why is this thing happening? Anyway, that's what I can say for now. Anyway.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go back on one or two things I was reading about how we can save money before we look into another scenario again. I believe strongly that cash helps us to keep record of our spending when you spend cash instead of credit cards. So you know how much is going out and how much is coming in. So it's also good for couples, to do more of cash spending. I mean, if you're doing your debit card, your Visa card, you have a statement of account. So you know how much you're spending. So you'll be able to keep record, okay, what do we need to slow down on? What do we need to save? I see your hand, Sister Toyin. I'll call you in a minute. Then another thing again is, we see people who do betting or gambling, which destroys family. And that is serious financial infidelity. Now, it's a different thing if you both decide or agree. I have a very, very close friend, he's been able to build a house with gambling. Now, he is fortunate and he knows about the game. He does it with his partner. They know what they are doing and they are making money from it. Because he knows the key, he works with them. He knows how he can make his money. Now, that's a different thing. They both agreed to play the game and they are making money off it. But if one partner decides, I want to go gambling, now you're gambling the family's money. You are gambling away the family's fortune. That is serious financial infidelity. And I have a very, very close family member the family is apart now because of gambling. So when we talk about money issues in marriage, it's a huge thing, which we must not take for granted. Another one I'm going to mention is subscriptions. Especially in United Kingdom, America, and diaspora. We also have it in Nigeria now. So Netflix subscription, Sky subscription, your landline subscription, mobile subscription. How many movies do we watch on Netflix? How many days have we spent? I can't remember the last time I watched TV. But we have all these subscriptions there and all the bills are coming out on a monthly basis. Now, some of us have unlimited internet on our phone. Maybe every member of the household have unlimited internet. Yet we still have broadband in the house. So money is just going like that. Fiam. So we need to look at our expenses and see what can we cut off. What can we cut off? If your children have unlimited internet, you can decide there is broadband in the house, so you kids don't need that anymore. Just top up their phone once in a while. Who are they even calling anyway? Maybe £5 for the month or for the week. Ways to save money. Then another one again is insurance policy. Insurance policy. What are we insuring? Some people do life insurance for their children. This is a child who is how old? Are you wishing your child to die in how many years? So the insurance policy we're taking out, let us check what is the criteria and what are we taking this insurance for? A lot of things will be brought to our table, but we need to be careful because most of this is just to take our money. Then another one again quickly is, there's this funny one. Some people do cancer insurance. You don't have cancer. you don't have dementia, but you are doing cancer or dementia insurance, are you wishing or praying that you're going to have dementia or cancer till you're going to end up maybe 90, 80, 100 before you die? You may never have cancer. So why spend money on what may never happen? So when we are taking insurance policy, let's take the one that is reasonable and will save us money. Then another one again is eating out so much. It's beautiful for families and couples to eat out once in a while, once a week, once in 2 weeks, once in a month. But when it becomes a daily habit, you're spending more money, because the money you spend in buying a plate of food, you probably use it to cook a pot of soup. So this is, we like, it's no big deal. Let's just eat it. Let's order chicken and chips. The next day, let's order, what's it called now? Fries. Another day, let's order Chinese. If you add those bills up at the end of the month, you're throwing money away. Big money you are throwing away. Like if I decide to go to a Nigerian restaurant and buy fish and dodo, maybe 25 pounds, 20 pounds, I will use that 25 pounds. That 25 pounds is just one fish, one dodo that I'll finish by myself. But if I take that 25 pounds, I'll make enough fish for the whole house. About 7 of us, we will eat. Everyone will have the same big fish for 25 pounds. So it's okay to eat out, but it should not be on a daily basis. Another one is buying designer label. It's a big ripoff. It's a big ripoff. The same company are the ones making all these clothes. Now, on the honest level, we have grade A, we have grade B, we all know that. But then, that the fact they put Nest and then they put Givenchy does not mean Givenchy is more quality than Nest. So don't look at the label, look at the fabric, look at the quality of what you're buying. At the end of the day, nobody's going to be checking your label. He's wearing, yeah, which one did my husband buy recently? Is he something Lewis or Curtis, something Curtis and all that, all those names. Nobody is looking at the bag to see the designer label. So I'm not saying don't buy designer, yes, but then buy it when you have surplus, or save up, buy lovely clothes, buy lovely whatever, but not designer label on every time. Every time you do shopping, designer label. Sister Toyi, if you are ready, I'll give you time to speak, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
God bless us all. Yeah, thank you, my sister. Yes, I just want to say something quickly, that all the points you've mentioned, they are very valid. But one of the main problems we have with our partners, husbands and wives, I'll say, is communication. If we do not, if we are not honest with each other from the beginning, then it is difficult later when we are in the relationship, like when we are now married. It's important that we communicate our likes and dislikes to each other. We shouldn't, keep quiet because we are desperate or blinded by love. We all have weaknesses. There's nothing we can do about that. Everyone has a weakness. And if we realize that the weakness, the person we are dating or married to, is something that is causing anguish, is something that is causing pain, please, it is important we look for the best way to communicate it to that person, and you discuss together the way forward. And please, there is nothing we cannot bring before the Lord. As long as we both agree that, look, this is a problem, this is an issue, let us both pray about it. Let us pray, both ask for God's wisdom and intercession. And do not let us hesitate to be practical. Because what happens sometimes is our pride comes into it. And many people, because they don't want a breakup in the relationship, they will not say, and they'll be suffering in silence until maybe it's too late or something, grievous has happened, then they'll speak up. Then it's too late. So please let us communicate to our partners, our husbands, our wives, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, how we feel about any aspect, especially today that we are discussing about this financial infidelity. It is important we speak up. Instead of speaking to our best friends or family members, sometimes we'll speak to everybody but the person that we ought to be speaking to. And other people that we are thinking will help us pass this message across to might pass it in a way whereby it will cause more harm than good. Because he or she will now come back home and it's like, you're just blackmailing me all over the place. And it causes more issues in the marriage or relationship. So please, it's important, let us be honest with each other by speaking up. By speaking up, let us ask God for the wisdom to speak, because there's a time and place for everything. So, that's what I'll say. And no issue, even the finance, every aspect of our relationship, let us bring it before the Lord and let us agree in prayer together. And I know that the Lord, will help us all. And just an example, I have someone I was counseling just a week ago. She told me she's going to leave the husband. And I said, why? She said, because he's not contributing to anything in the house. Because he believes that, well, this is a United Kingdom. The woman who owns the house. And yes, that's what she said. He told her, that, well, the woman owns the house. So, I can't spend, because at the end of the day, if anything happens now, you're going to tell me to go out of your house. And in spite of the fact that they have children, not a child, they've got children. So you can imagine in cases like that, I told her that you should have started praying together and taking out, what are you doing as well that is making him feel insecure. So sometimes the problem is maybe the woman or, is more comfortable or getting a higher salary or income, and you cannot rub it into the man's face. If you do that, and he'll become defensive. And sometimes when people get defensive in a relationship, they misbehave. So everything comes down to, communication, and also let us be prayerful, not one-sided prayer, but mutual agreement in one accord. Then we will move mountains. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much for that submission. God bless you, ma. All you have said is on point, 100%. But the irony of it is this: the heart of a man is wicked. When I say a man is human, male or female, you can discuss issues. Now, I have an example where the couples, they talk about what they like, what they don't like before they got married. And the man was actually very open. Now, listen, this and this is the kind of things I like, and these are the things I do not like. And the woman was like, oh, of course, that's okay, that's all right. But when they got married, it was a different ballgame entirely. And then he had to go keep reminding, like, listen, I told you I do not like those things, But it's people pretend to understand you. People pretend to say, okay, it's okay, we are on the same page. But when things change, that's why I say then we go back and pray, like our sister has said, and then we apply wisdom. Because you are not running out of the marriage is not the solution. But seeking help, praying, and applying lots and lots of wisdom. And even that wisdom comes from spending time in the place of prayer. And then the Holy Spirit will be able to drop in your mind, in your heart. What do you do? How do you go about it? What can you say? What can you talk to? Okay, this is the right time to talk to him. Before you talk to him, God has touched his heart or our hearts and melted the heart. So whatever you say at that time will be sinking in and will be working. Thank you very much. Any other contribution addition to infidelity? While we're thinking about that, I'm going to add another thing to helping us save money in the family, which is budgeting. It is very important that as couples, we come together. We both know, I mean, our income should be open on the table. I know what your income is. You know what my income is. And then we know what our bill is. I think I've said this a couple of times in the program. And then we are able to budget. Okay, this is what we're budgeting for rent. This is what we're budgeting for electricity. Not even now, the electricity is skyrocketing. So everybody needs to bring everything to the table. So whatever is left from your money and whatever is left from my money is my money, is your money. But then we need to come together to plan how the family is going to be run. It is very, very important not to leave everything for the man. The economy out there is not smiling. We all know it. So let us help our men and let the men also not take the women for granted, because that happens a lot. Now, it's natural. I mean, 98% of women, if I'm wrong, let the women correct me. 98% of women will go to the shop or to the market, maybe to buy a pair of trousers for themselves, but they'll end up with another bag of shopping for the house. Am I right or not? The woman who go out to do shopping.
100%.
Thank you, ma. It's natural. So when we go out to, even if you have a budget, a tight budget of not spending more than 50 pounds, that's your budget. You say end up spending 55 pounds or 60 pounds. You add your own money to it. It's natural. That is why we are women. So we do all these things, even our husband don't know we've added money. You know, they don't know we've added extra to it. So when you now come home with all that sacrifice and it is being taken for granted, you know, you begin to want to lay back. Things you naturally jump out and you want to do. This is my home, this is my family, and you're covering everything you can cover. And you're being taken for granted, and you begin to lay back bit by bit, which is very, very dangerous. Because if a tear is not stitched on time, it can destroy the whole dress. Any other addition from the house? Pastor Stephen is quiet tonight. I guess it's at work. Hope and Glory Ministry.
My apologies. Yes, I'm at work. I'm trying.
God bless you, sir.
I'm balancing the acts here. I have not been able to actually listen to anything at the moment. Like you were talking right now, someone was talking in front of me, so I didn't really hear what you were talking about. So I do apologize.
Yeah, with me, you know what Litoyin said, that's what I said last week, and which is communication is very vital in relationship. So it's because everything everybody has been saying, I quite agree with them. That's why I didn't say anything. So communication, couple can communicate. That's very good. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll add two more things on my list that will help in helping the family finances. One is negotiating. Now, a lot of men do not like to negotiate. People like my husband, if you tell them it's £5, they want to pay £5. I say, lie. Why? It's not. I know it's not £5. How much can you reduce? You know, there's no crime in negotiating. Every penny matters. Let us save in any way we can save. Okay. And in some instances, even when I'm like negotiating, you pay, it's okay now. You are negotiating too much. Stay out of it. Let me negotiate very, very well. So please, at least one partner must be able to negotiate. You cannot go to the shop and say you want to buy even cars. Don't say, it's a big shop or it's a supermarket, so everything is just pay and go. Negotiate. Even if it's £5 you can knock off, it's money. If it's £1,000 you can knock off, even better. You know, don't say, we're in England, it's only in Nigeria you can negotiate and be pricing like a market woman. No. If you want to buy a property even, and they tell you this property, thank you very much, my mommy, Hope and Glory, and they tell you the property is £500,000, negotiate it. You might end up getting it for 40,000. Even when you pretend like, okay, I'm sorry if you can't go down for me, I have to go and, you know, go for another property somewhere else. Of course, they don't want to lose you. They'll welcome you back. Now, one of the ways you know negotiating is important is when you go out to all the shows and they put sales, they have made their money before they put for sales. Even when there's a reduction, tell you 20% or 50% reduction, they are still making money. So don't be fooled. So if you are able to say, maybe because one button is been taken off the shirt, or maybe the shirt needs a stitching here, take it back to the counter and ask for a knockoff. You know, if they can still reduce it more, you are not wasting their money. They are not losing a penny. They are still making money. So let us save and save and save. And finally, for tonight, is this some people don't like in England, though, expired products. Where we come from, nothing expires, though. You know, I'm not saying buy products that are really proper expired. But for instance, there's a label on the egg that says the egg is expired today, and they put today's date. Egg don't expire. If you break the egg and the egg is not, what's the word now? It's not solid. I have to preach it. Break the egg and cook. That's why we cook our food very, very, very well. Buy your bread in bulk, save them in the freezer. Nothing is expiring anywhere. You know, let us save money on this. And especially with the economy and inflation everywhere now, you need to save. You need to save, because when we don't save and this money is not going around as much as we want it, it brings a lot of tension in the family. It brings strife in the family. It brings unnecessary tight face. Like, why is you just squeezing your face unnecessarily? It's money. So let us save. So there are times in the shops where, like Morrison, Sainsbury, Asda, most of all the shops, Aldi, all of them, if you go to the shops from 8 o'clock before they close, 1 hour, 30 minutes before they close, they have a lot of food they pile to the side they want to throw away. And they've cut off a lot of money. Why? Because they've changed the label to yellow. Now, some of those food you can eat that day. Some you can eat the next day. Some of them you can even eat for under 5 days. Now, sometimes I go into those stores by chance, and I see even the label in it is not even hasn't expired. The label is still okay for another 5 days, but yet they are chunking it out. So sometimes I don't really need those items at that time, but I buy them, I put in the fridge, or I buy them, I put in the freezer until I need them. So sometimes you go to the shop to buy, where you are able to buy with the yellow label, you might end up saving like 50 pounds for your shopping for that day. 50 pounds for today is a lot of money. So please, let us try and save in any way that we can save. I'm going to read a comment from Sister Christine. She says, although financial infidelity doesn't involve another person, it is a hidden or secret behavior that harms the marriage. And Mommy Hope says, so preach it exactly. And that is on saving money and expired products. So if we are planning to do shopping, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I wait till evening time when I know they'll have a lot of stuff they want to throw away. Okay. And we have some companies like Olio. I know of Olio. There are a couple other ones who will take off this food they want to throw away and give it to people for free. So as much as you can save money, get free food, please get it. It does not mean that you are a big man or big woman. When somebody's giving you free food, why wouldn't you take it? If there's free food in the church, they are giving away. If you are okay, you are financially buoyant, and you want other people to have it, no problem. But if you know by yourself that slice of bread will do something for tonight, please take the bread. It goes a long way. It's all about money. So let us save as much as we can. That is all for me from tonight. Any other addition from anyone from the house? Sister Dosumu, you good? Sister Anna, I see you online.
Yes, I'm all right. Yeah, everything is, it's well studied. We have learned a lot from here now. Yeah.
Thank you very much. God bless you, man. Wait, again, the Sister Christine, Brother Mike Olaolu, I have not heard your voice tonight.
Hello, ma.
God bless you, Sister Anna. Any addition, any subtraction?
Yeah.
Please, can I just quickly contribute a bit?
Yes, Anna, hold on for Brother Mike, please.
All right. This may not be for our sake alone, but also for the children that we're rearing. There is nothing impossible with God. Whatever we do, we should be God conscious. There is something God taught me right from when I was a spinster. Yeah, when God showed me my wife, we had to go together and discuss the law about how we can live the future together in unity. By the grace of God, today, my ATM card can be with my wife for days, hers can be with me. We can access anything because that trust level has been built right from the onset. Even if that is not there, there is still enough room to make up. Why am I saying this? We have to drive towards what God wants us to be. God wants us to be like Him. He has all these resources in abundance, and He wants people that He can trust with His resources on earth. How much is it trusting us? If we human beings cannot trust ourselves on whatever we do, how will God entrust us with His resources? It is still okay. And let's impress it in the hearts of our children. They can do it better than us.
Amen. Amen. God bless you. Thank you very much, sir, for that encouraging word. Sister Anna?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm learning a lot about what you're saying. And I've been through most of what you have been saying. And sometimes theoretically it seems okay. But, when you're actually going through it practically, sometimes it's just so difficult and you don't know what to do. And you don't know your family, you don't want to get people involved, you don't want to get his family involved because then it'll be like, it'll always be your fault anyway, because the son can do no wrong in their eyes sometimes. So I think a lot of men, especially when they are still young, they have no clue how to run a family and how to behave with money. And I think as they mature, they start to realize what to do, especially when they become like in their 40s. They start to behave more mature. But I generally believe that a lot of men under 40, especially under 30 and early 30s, they are very financially immature and they tend to just spend money in ways that they feel fit and they don't really include their wives in it, so that is what I have to say. But as time has gone by, I've seen that they change in a way and realize that's not really life. They shouldn't really be gambling, at any point they feel that maybe the person they want to win is going to win. Because it happened to me a few times where they thought, or maybe Anthony Joshua, whoever it is, David Hay was going to win. They put £500 down and that was it. £500 went down the drain within 1 second. And I didn't know what to do. It's like, I can't beat him. I can't do anything. I can't, it's so difficult. It's your child, that you beat your child. Do you understand? Like, if it's your parents' house, you walk out. But this one, what are you going to do? Like, and then he will start running helter-skelter to try and replace the money. And then you really start to feel sorry for them. Like, you feel ashamed for them, sorry for them, because you know that they are just hoping that they would have doubled the money and come and tell you, like, the money is double, we have money now, we'll spend it together. But, so once you start to fall a few times, you start to realize, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So that's all I have to say, really.
Thank you very much. God bless you all for your contribution and for not leaving me alone and sharing different ideas, different experiences. And I believe we all learned one or two things, to take home. And I believe anyone who will be able to come across this later on will also learn one or two things from it. Until next week, Thursday, where we'll be coming with another topic. It's a good night from me, Ekene Modupe Adeniji. Thank you so much, Sister Sherry. Hope we'll be seeing more of you. Brother Mike, thank you so much. God bless you all. Sister Anna, thank you. Brother Isi, Sister Toyin, Pastor Stephen, Sister Christine, and everyone on Facebook. Love you so much. Love you all, and God bless you. Good night, everyone.